You know, we're all completely obsessed with building bigger, faster, more powerful AI brains. But what if that's the wrong race entirely? Today, we are going to dive into a totally different blueprint for AI agents. It's a new architecture that says the real breakthrough isn't a smarter brain. It's something else. Let's get into it. And this quote right here, it just gets straight to the point. The way we're building agents right now, it's fundamentally broken. We're forcing them to read every single piece of information, trying to solve a knowledge problem by just cramming more and more data into them. And honestly, it's just making them slow and ridiculously expensive. This analogy just completely nails it. Think about it. Right now, our AI is like a CEO who has to personally read every single email that comes into the company just to get a sense of the day. It's insane, right? Inefficient. The Agentic Way is so much smarter. The department head, the data source itself, pre-digests all that information and just hands the CEO a simple daily brief. The AI gets the critical signal, not all the noise.
So how do we actually build that daily brief system for our AIs? Well, the answer isn't a bigger brain for the CEO. It's a much smarter support structure. This is where we get this profound architectural shift called inversion of context, and it's all about building an intelligent nervous system for our AI.
This is the absolute key insight. For so long, we've been treating AI like this disembodied brain in a jar, but the future isn't a smarter brain, it's a smarter nervous system. A whole network that filters, sorts, and pre-processes information before it ever even reaches the core model. It's a total rethink of how AI architecture should work.
So okay, how do we build this nervous system? We do it with a universal standard called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like USB-C for AI. It's one standard plug that lets your agent connect to absolutely anything. Your Notion, your Slack, your Google Drive. You're not building a custom adapter for every single app anymore. It just works.
And this is where the real magic happens. With MCP, the tools themselves get smart. So instead of your agent needing to read, say, the last 1,000 messages in a Slack channel, it can just ping the Slack server and ask, hey, can you give me the daily stand-up summary? The server does all that heavy lifting, and the agent gets back this tiny, information-dense summary. All that cognitive work gets offloaded, which means it's drastically faster and way, way cheaper.
Okay, so we've got a smart nervous system. That's a huge step. But what about the brain itself? To make these agents truly reliable, the kind you can actually trust, we need a completely new toolkit for how they think and act. So let's look at the actual tech that's making this possible. The first piece of that toolkit is something called LangGraph. So if MCSP is the nervous system, you can think of LangGraph as the agent's structured reasoning engine. It gives the agent a formal way to build a plan, execute the steps in that plan, and, this is the most important part, handle things when they inevitably go wrong. It's what moves AI from just reacting to actually planning. And the key word here is reliability. LangGraph makes the agent's actions predictable, not random. And check this out. It has this feature called cyclic error recovery. So if your agent tries to book a flight and the first website it checks is down, it doesn't just crash and burn. No, it can actually loop back, reassess, and try a different airline. It can problem solve, just like a person would. That's what makes it robust enough for real-world tasks.
All right, next up, memory. A true personal assistant needs to actually understand your world, right? Well, traditional search, or vector search, it just finds things that are similar based on keywords. GraphRG is different. It understands the relationships between things. It doesn't just find a document about Apple. It knows that Apple is a company, that Steve Jobs was a founder, and that they make the iPhone. It gets the connections.
This allows the agent to build a personal knowledge graph of your entire digital life. It starts mapping all the hidden connections between your chats, your documents, your meetings, and it can do this totally securely. By using an embedded database like KuzuDB, this entire intricate graph of your life can live privately, right on your own device. It never has to go to some company's cloud. Okay, so our agent is smart, it's reliable, and it has a fantastic memory. Now, how does it go out and interact with the web? Meet agent.json. Think of it like the robots.txt file we have today, but with one critical, game-changing difference. Robots.txt tells bots what they can't do. Agent.json is like a public menu. It tells visiting agents all the awesome things they can do on a website. And this one simple file, it unlocks the entire vision of what's called an agent-to-agent web.
This is the future we're heading towards, a world where our personal agents can go out into the digital world and get things done for us by negotiating directly with the agents of other services.
Just imagine this for a second. You tell your agent, hey, book me a trip to Hawaii next month. Your agent zips out, finds a travel site, and reads its agent.json file to see what's possible. It then securely connects, and the two agents just start negotiating. They start haggling over price, dates, seat options, everything, all using that MCP standard. Once they agree on the perfect deal, it's settled. And this all happens in the background without you lifting a finger.
Look, this isn't science fiction. This is a very predictable evolution. We are already in the phase where agents are using APIs. The very next logical step is giving them control of our screens and browsers. And by 2027, all the pieces we've talked about will be in place for this fully autonomous agent-to-agent web to become a reality.
Which brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. We've seen how these new agents are being built. The goal here isn't just to make better apps. It's to make the whole idea of apps kind of obsolete. AI is on its way to becoming our personal executive function. So in a world where your agent is handling all the execution, what's left for you to do? What does your job become?